Hi there, this is Matt with State of Flex here with a review for Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. This is going to be a non-spoiler review until the very, very end where I will let you know that there's going to be spoilers for this and Glee of all things. Yes. So, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. I liked it. It's good. I've liked all the Indiana Jones movies, even Kingdom of the Crystal Skulls, and I think the fan reaction for this one is going to be very positive compared to Kingdom of the Crystal Skulls, but nowhere near as enthusiastic as they are for the original three. I kind of land in this is about the same as Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. I didn't think that was a bad movie, I just felt it was more like a fan film. And this one feels more authentic than that one did and has far less stupid stuff, but the structure of this movie is where I have a little issue. It's not structured like a feature film. If anything, this feels closer to the Indiana Jones novels that like Bantam put out back in the 80s and 90s. And, well, I liked those books. Those books are very structured like a novel. And this one is too. If you shake this movie, you can easily drop at least 40 to 50 minutes out of the screen time. And when the movie's 2.5 hours, that truly matters. There's a lot of stuff in this movie that just feels like pointless expeditions for us to go on. Not that we don't find things along the way and that it's not interesting with these characters and stuff like that. It just feels more like it's better suited for a novel. Like, in all honesty, this one reminded me specifically of the novel with Merlin. I think it was called like Dance of Swords or something like that. Indiana Jones and the Dance of Swords. But yeah, so the action in this movie is fantastic. All the action beats feel very Spielberg-y. And I really liked that. There's nice movement and flow until the movie just kind of stops or you start intellectualizing like, why are we spending so much time here? Like, this action beat is really cool, but I feel like maybe you could have included this in the scene prior and then had a more like tight movie. My mind kept wandering to that multiple times over. However, I did really like the MacGuffin in this. The Dial of Destiny itself is pretty cool. How it ties into history and the conclusion of this movie is very strong. But the reason you're here is for one of two reasons. Either you're a big fan of Mads Mikkelsen or Phoebe Waller-Bridger and you're sort of dipping your toes into Indiana Jones, and I get it. Both of them are really compelling human beings and they bring a lot to this movie. Even though her character feels very like Han Solo but female. The real reason to watch this movie is Harrison Ford. Harrison Ford knocks it out of the park. I think, honestly, this might be my favorite performance of his, without question. He brings it. He feels as if he's giving his retirement performance. And it is strong and weirdly emotional. Honestly, he does a great job, independent of the franchise. This is a performance that I would recognize at year's end. I don't think it'll happen because this is kind of pulp fluff, but he genuinely gives a strong performance, far stronger than I've ever seen him give before in anything, including things like Working Girl or Sabrina or whatever, where he's doing more authentic, grounded performances. And not to forget, John Williams also really brings it. His score is fantastic. There wasn't as much of the dun 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 as I was expecting. He kind of brought that a lot and heavy in the previous movie, Crystal Skulls, and I really liked that. This doesn't rely on it as much, but the themes in this film I think are strong. I like it. So yeah, this is a good movie, worth your time. If you like action, James Mangold does his best impression of Steven Spielberg in staging, in filming things, in tone. He just, as he does with a lot of Mangold's own movies, has an issue where he spends too much time, unnecessary time. So the movie is very good. I give it 3 stars. It's worth your time. From here on out, I'm going to talk spoilers, and the spoilers I'm going to talk about are for Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, as well as Glee. And mild spoilers at that. This isn't like a huge, huge, huge spoiler. But the character of Mutt Williams, Indy's son, is not in the film, yet he's talked about. And the way they write him out is by killing his character off screen. And like how you respond to that is whatever. But this movie clearly had an ending that was stronger than the one that we actually got. And I feel like it's because Shia LaBeouf didn't want to come back. And the reason that I bring this up is because the ending in the movie feels like an ending that they came up with because their original ending couldn't happen. The other time I saw something like this was for Glee. And in Glee, the creator of that show said that the Finn character was always meant to get with the Rachel character at the end of the series. And he was unable to do that because the actor who played Finn passed away. Obviously, Shia LaBeouf has not. But rather than leave that ending unexplored forever, they put it in the show through dialogue. In the episode where Finn has died and everybody's remembering his character, you have the Rachel character reminisce with her teacher about how she always saw the end of her relationship with him. And she said that she pictured her having this extraordinary performances and presence on Broadway, but then coming back to the school where Finn had grown up to become the Glee teacher, and that they would always share a moment and come together in their own ways, as their own two journeys were separate, yet together. But she realizes now that can never be because he's dead or whatever. And the creator of Glee wrote that into the show because that is the ending of Glee as it was always designed, but the ending that's incapable of happening because Finn died. I feel like there's a moment in this movie where Indiana Jones is talking to Phoebe Waller-Bridger's character about Mutt and what he would do if he ever got a chance to talk to Mutt one more time is tell him not to enlist, to tell him how much he loves him and how much him enlisting is going to ruin his mother and ruin him, and how it's going to deteriorate their marriage and ruin everybody's life. And clearly that was something that was supposed to be the ending of this movie, but I don't think Shia LaBeouf could be brought back, or they didn't want, or he didn't want to come back, or whatever. But that seemed like the ending that was supposed to happen, because I kept waiting for it to happen. And then when it didn't, I realized that the ending was so good they decided to just sprinkle it in through the dialogue, Glee style. That said, the ending that's there is really cute, and everybody in the audience was kind of swooning and laughing and giggling and whatnot. So there you have it. I give the movie 3 stars out of 4. It runs out of gas a little bit in the middle, but has enough left going to get you all the way through the end. The climax is gripping and enthralling. I like this movie. As I say, 3 stars. Not my favorite Indiana Jones. I think each one is a step stool down. My favorite is Raiders of the Lost Ark, which I think is pitch perfect perfection and one of Spielberg's strongest films. I think Temple of Doom is the most fun of the Indiana Jones movies, even though it's dark in tone, but I've always had a horror draw to me, so I've always loved Temple of Doom for that. However, that is easily the most cringy movie of the Indy set. Has not aged well, but I think the action in that movie is super fun. Last Crusade, which is most people's favorite, I like the first 10 minutes, but the next, 40 minutes after that first 10 is dead air until Indy's dad shows up. Once Henry shows up, the movie soars, and I think a lot of people coast heavily on that last 45 minutes and not remember the previous 45 minutes from that. And then Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, as I say, it felt like a fan film. There's a lot of stuff in it that I like and a lot of stuff that I think is asinine and BS. But even that movie, I don't dislike. I'd give that one 3 stars as well. This one's kind of on par. There's a lot more to like in this one than that one, but I think some of the highs of the previous one outweigh some of the highs in this one. So, go figure. Thanks for watching, like, subscribe. Let me know what you thought of the movie in the comments down below without spoilers. Thanks for watching. Peace.